well did you two know each other before today?
We didn't know. We hadn't met before.
Yeah.
This was the first day.
Yep. And we'd never watched any of each other's movies.
At all.
And we didn't care to speak to each other, actually.
It was evident during
Yeah.
this conversation.
I feel like there's been an orbit, just with various people that I feel like I've met that know you.
Oh, yeah. People in
And-
common. And,
yeah.
and we were promoting movies at the same time. So sort of aware of each
There's
other.
a real overlap.
It seems like you guys had been like best friends forever. This was something.
Oh, we've been best friends for the last hour and a half or
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, that counts for something.
Yeah.
And onwards, I say.
Yes. All right. So as
He's brilliant.
You're both brilliant. As you mentioned during your conversation, I'm standing with Superman.
Yes.
And the sexiest man alive.
Right.
Are these two titles that you ever thought that you would have?
Absolutely.
Did you?
No. I mean, Superman is even more absurd, probably.
It is. It's because it lasts longer. I mean, you have to keep it up for longer. Sexiest Man
Yeah.
Alive is just this year,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
So next year, pressure's off.
340 days. Yeah, exactly.
Now the question is it the calendar year or is it until the next one is crowned?
It's tax year.
Tax year. That's forget. Yes.
The British tax year. I haven't opened my American account
Yeah.
yet. Although I did get a social security number.
Oh, bless.
Yeah, I know.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. So
Yeah.
let's
pretty
talk
sexy.
let's talk about Superman and Wicked because these are two huge properties. What did it feel like, and whoever wants to jump in first, when you learned that you landed these roles?
Oh, you go first.
Mine was on a Zoom call, and it was John Chu and Mark Platt, and Bernie Telsey, who's the casting director, and then suddenly they were like, "Oh, we've had some," and it was a Zoom call just to be like, "We're just checking your dance skills," and
Oh, it was-
and
but
then
it was
like,
a- it was a
we have
fake
some
out?
producers that and then it was like Galinda the Good and Cynthia Erivo, but obviously the Cynthia Erivo kind of gave it away, and they were like, "Will you come to Shears?" And I was so British.
That's
I
a
was
lot
just
of
like,
fun.
yes. I was like, yes, yes. And then just sort of, had a brain fart. And so, yeah, that was how I found out. And you found out because there was 22 names.
No, that was
Introduced.
the audition. No,
Oh.
the finding out I got the role was just James calling me.
Oh, that's nice. Okay. Did you
and-
find that emotional?
No,
Okay.
I don't really get emotional. I like to leave my work at work.
Okay. So you were like, okay, cracking.
Yeah, well, it sort of felt. I've described it as like discovering that, like being an astronaut being told they're going to the moon,
Yeah.
which is like, well, this is what I wanted. This is what I knew this was a possibility.
Yeah.
I put my name in.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of work ahead, and like now we have to go to the moon. So it was a brief sense of
Yeah,
relief.
I totally understand that.
Like
And
I
then
know what
immediately you're
job
like,
I have, and then
yeah.
it's like now we
You
got to
see,
get
the
to work.
mountain just appears.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
yeah.
All
But it's all you
marble.
ever wish for as an actor is some big mountain to climb.
Do either of you have a dream role? Because I think these would seem like dream roles, but as we just spoke about, you're both pretty grounded about them. So is there a role that you would love to play?
I would love to play an X-wing pilot in the Star Wars thing, and I can say that because I've told Lucasfilm, they're aware.
If you do that,
Yeah.
can I play
My R2D2, my astromech droid in the back.
I'll do it.
Do you have a good?
I'd love to do that. That's slightly better than I was going to suggest. That I would be like a Jar Jar Binks.
Oh yeah. I think.
Or like Bar Bar Jinx.
Well, the good thing about the astromech droid is it's probably mostly booth work. You just have to come in and do the beeps and the boops.
Well, you know I love a beat. I'm a bit nervous about the boobs.
Yeah, well, they'll come. We'll set you up with somebody.
We're manifesting.
Yeah, great.
Okay, this is
Wait,
on
what's
the
your
record,
dream
so
role?
It's gonna happen.
Well,
What would be a dream role? Is it? What about in the theater? Do you have a theater dream role?
Yeah, I do have some dream roles. Yeah.
Do you not want to name them for universe purposes?
No, my goodness me. I'd like to play Polixenes in Winter's Tale.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Next.
Sort of a deep cut there for those.
Sorry.
You both
That's what it works.
You both spoke a lot about musicals and musicality.
Which one is Polixenes?
Yeah, I don't know.
Did you just make that up?
No.
I feel like I played Polixenes in
Polixenes.
Winter's Tale.
Yeah.
Not the main guy.
Yeah.
Is that Polixenes?
There's Laertes Polixenes.
Laertes, that's
Yeah.
who I know, yeah. But
Yeah,
is
not
Polixenes
Laertes.
the other? Yeah, okay, great.
Yeah. He then returns back.
Yes, yeah,
See,
okay,
I
great.
knew we weren't done with that
Yeah,
question,
yeah.
which
Sorry.
is why I just
Yeah, yeah.
stared at you.
Mm-hmm.
You spoke a lot about musicals and musicality, and I learned about you, David, that you were in high school musicals.
Yeah.
If you two were going to star
High society.
in a, yeah,
Have you heard? It's in the
my
stars.
goodness.
Next July we collide with Mars.
Well, did you ever?
What a swell party this is. Oh man, that's a great
Have you
right out of
heard? It's in the
stars.
stars.
Next July we collide with Mars. Oh, bless
Well,
you.
did you? Oh yeah. Okay. There we go.
Who's our Grace Kelly? Quick.
Meryl Streep?
Oh God, I mean, sure, yeah. That's such a good answer. I'm trying to think of.
Scarlett.
Yeah.
Cynthia.
Does she sing?
Scarlett sings.
Oh.
Sorry, I said that, but yeah, she sings.
Oh, great. Good.
Also, you need to meet Jeff Goldblum.
I would love to. Yeah.
And you should play piano with him.
Oh yes, I
'Cause
mean he's.
I was going to
yes.
say it in our conversation, and he also, wrote an out a jazz album, but
Well, and very
Scarlett sang on it, and so did
Oh,
Ari. So
I
did
did not
Cynthia.
realize.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
fantastic.
Jeff Goldblum serenaded me on the Oscars red carpet last year.
Heaven.
And just like you both
A cappella.
serenaded me right now. Yes, a cappella. All right, this
One
was so much
absolute
fun.
legend.
Thank you both so much.
Thank
Oh,
you.
bless. Thank
now
you.
High Society, it's going to happen.
Yes.
Okay, we'll hand it over to you guys.
Who owns that? We gotta remake that.
This was your audition. I mean, I'm in.
That was kind of intense.
It was great. I'm trying to put that in the
but so did you.
Ariana, you are clearly such a fan of Adams.
I mean,
Vice versa.
lifelong.
Vice versa.
Lifelong
How much
too.
fun was this, just to be able to sit down and have this conversation together?
It was beautiful.
Turned out perfect.
Yeah.
Very happy. At ease, right?
Yeah, I forgot that we were doing something professional.
Yeah.
I felt like we were just hanging out and having dinner. But I've loved his work my whole life, and it was an honor. When they told me that I was paired with him, I almost had a heart attack.
Oh.
And yeah,
Same
I'm
here,
honored.
Ariana. But Ariana's been in every car ride, our whole
So
kids
sorry.
existence. No, we love them. And they can get filthy at times, by the way. And the
I'm
children
so sorry.
learn. No.
It's not like that anymore.
It's no, at the times of our life, and I've had the similar times. And let me tell you, the children have learned stuff that I'm glad they know.
I'm grateful
learn.
to have been a teacher.
You're
for them
part of it
in that way.
forever. Yes,
I'm going to say, they learned from Ariana, no better teacher.
a great lady. Yes.
As you said, your girls are such fans.
Yeah.
How excited are they that you got to do Actors on Actors with her?
It was a big morning. And then, by the way, can I tell you, NASA, the song NASA.
Oh my gosh.
NASA. I'm not kidding you. We have listened to that song. So when I was leaving the house, my two, you saw Sonny, Sadie was like, "Remember NASA, Dad? Remember NASA?" I said, "What tune should I talk about with Ariana?"
Oh my
Anyways,
gosh.
That's probably the number one in the house.
Well, thank you very much.
I love it.
I'm honored.
Thank you.
You spoke a lot about your affinity for Waterboy.
Oh my God, yes.
That was also one of my favorite movies
Thank you.
growing up. What other?
But all of them.
I was going to ask, what
Yeah.
other Adam Sandler films did you love growing up?
I mean, obviously Billy Madison.
That's enough, yes.
I love your dramatic performances
Thank you.
as well. I love
Yours
auditions.
too. Yours too.
I mean, all of them. I mean, Big Daddy. Big Daddy.
Big Daddy was a
Hello?
part of our life. Your life, you were a child then.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't know comedy without you and
Thank-
your handprint on it. And
Thank you.
SNL. I mean,
Thank you,
Hello.
thank
we didn't
you.
even get to talk about SNL.
We didn't need
We
to.
didn't have time to talk
We
about
had too
SNL.
much already.
I mean,
I want to
it's-
talk about you more
There's
than
not
my
enough.
stuff. And I'm glad you know. And now you know a double. You know me and Stiller. So that your whole comedy, a lot of comedy from growing up is in your life now.
They're very crazy, very surreal.
This was such a great meeting of you two. Do you think
loved
maybe
it.
you can work together? And
Yes.
Sure.
I
Yes.
was thinking about that while I was
Yeah.
listening to you talk about your process. I was like,
Yeah.
God, he seems like such an amazing person to work with.
We
It's
have
like-
to do that. We will do that.
We will.
We will
should.
100% do
I
that.
would love to do that.
You heard it here first. Okay. We're
Love
gonna
you
make
all.
it happen.
Yes, thank
That
you.
would be so fun.
I'm on the lookout now.
I'm inviting myself.
You're in, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you both so much.
Thank
This was
you.
so
This
fun.
was
Thank
I'll
you.
give you a hug.
So nice to meet you. So I learned something new in your conversation, which is that, of course, The Mummy Returns was your first movie, but I never knew that Brendan was the one who gave you your first shot. Talk to me more about that. What does it mean, 25 years later, now to be sitting with Brendan?
I'm jumping on this answer because he's going to say something different, but he helped launch my career. Brendan was the one, he doesn't like to take credit, but it's true, who said, okay, yes, I'll have Dwayne Johnson, who he didn't even know, or The Rock, he wasn't familiar, but I will have him in the franchise. It was his franchise. And that led to The Scorpion King and this career that I've been lucky to have. So it's,
Come on.
no, it's true.
The bill is in the mail.
It's,
Watching this conversation, you really just see the mutual admiration and respect that you both have for each other. And again, 25 years later, now at this moment in the Oscars conversation, what does it mean to both of you to have really been by each other's side for all these years and now be here together?
Gosh, what does that mean? Well, I'm happy to be in the conversation, firstly. I don't know. Who knows where this is going to go, because you don't know. But trust me, you don't know what the results will be. And that's exciting in its own way. Well, I'm hopeful that we see each other on the dance floor, because it's no fun without him.
No fun without him. And I'm like him. I'm happy to be in any conversation.
In your Actors on Actors conversation, you spoke about both of your standing ovations at the Venice Film Festival a few years apart. And as you said, Dwayne immediately posted about it for The Whale. And then with Smashing Machine, you've been one of Dwayne's biggest supporters.
Have you seen Smashing Machine?
Yes.
He's freaking incredible.
I know.
Thank you.
And you've both transformed in these roles. Just thinking of those moments when you see the standing ovation, then as you spoke about, you get to experience it yourself. How fun has it been to have each other as cheerleaders?
Well, I guess it's because we both have had a similar experience now, and it's kind of hard to describe, like,
Yeah.
to, you know, whomever wants to know, what, your good self too. When you're in the focus of that cone, everyone's going to be a little bit different, but I mean, it's a similar experience. It is so humbling. Did you feel that way too?
That's a good way to put it.
I just felt so humbled
It
by all of that.
really is, because, you know, I think in our world of entertainment, things can be ceremonialized. You know, there's
Yeah.
red carpets and it's big and it's
Commodified and-
commodified and all that. But in that moment, when you're over there and you have these people who appreciate and love and respect art,
The cinema, the art of cinema,
Yeah.
as only Italians can.
yes,
Right,
it's very
yes.
humbling.
Yes.
Yes.
Final question. Do you two want to work together again?
Absolutely.
Would love to.
I have to ask you, Stellan, what do you think about Alex's shorts?
They're too short.
Too short.
Yeah,
These are the longest shorts I've ever worn.
yeah, but oh, that's
better.
That's better. Yeah.
Alex, do you think that your dad could pull off this look?
Oh, have you seen him lately? Like,
Yes.
strapping young lad. He was. You went to Paris to go to a fashion show recently. Was it Balenciaga or something?
Yeah.
Icon.
Icon.
Like
But,
father, like son.
I used to be naked, so I can wear anything.
You can indeed.
Speaking of being naked, were there any parts that you had to cover your eyes watching Alex's movie?
No, I mean, I've seen him naked for 49 years,
Daily.
daily. It's there's nothing.
I send him
like-
nudes every day.
I've been washing his penis and his ass and everything
This week.
this week.
This week, this morning.
This
Yeah.
morning.
Yes. To get onto a more serious note, it must be pretty surreal to be doing Actors on Actors, sitting across from your son, from your dad. How proud are you of him?
I mean, I'm very proud of it. I mean, I only care about one thing, and that is
Money.
Money. No, I care about. I said be on time. He wasn't today, but I said to him.
That wasn't my fault.
Yeah, but I know.
They try to
but
set me
that's
on
what I
fire.
care about. Be on time, and then
Sorry,
I
Dad.
also be good, and that's it's and tired properly.
Look proper.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dad. Sorry.
You know, so a lot of actors, when they show up for Actors on Actors, they do a lot of intense prep. Did either of you prep, or this was
Intense
just showing
prep?
up? Yeah, to interview their fellow actors.
Oh, okay.
Did you prep? or
Like
you just
research
showed
and
up-
stuff?
Research on all their film history, watching all their material.
Oh, interesting.
Or was this just like showing up to talk to Dad?
It was just a show.
I
We know
did a
each other.
lot of research. A lot.
49 years worth.
49 years worth of research. I went deep.
Deep, yeah.
Yeah. Very committed journalist. No, it was pretty obvious that I didn't do shit. I'm sorry. I didn't
And it
do
was
it.
incredible.
Thank you, but I doubt it. But I felt a little bad, but I didn't do any homework at all.
You know what? You passed.
Thank you.
Thank you both so much. This was
Thank
so much
you.
fun.
Thank you
Thanks,
very
nice
much.
to meet you.
Thank you.
I think you could pull off the shorts, by the way.
Oh yeah.
This
Okay.
is phenomenal.
It's
I'm
wonderful,
obsessed
yeah.
with- I believe you two had met briefly before today. Was it on?
No, no.
You never.
No.
You never.
Never,
Okay,
not
this
my
was the
life.
first time
This
you
was
met.
it.
So how was it?
I'm so happy about
It was fabulous.
Jacob, during the conversation, you spoke about how you, growing up, were so inspired by Gwyneth and her generation of actors in the 90s.
Yeah.
How did she inspire you in your journey into wanting to become an actor?
I think probably just the films that you're in. They're all like filmmakers that have defined cinema in some kind of way, and they're the films that they're on the must rent wall at Blockbuster. When I was like, they were the movies that because those movies from the 90s kept coming back.
Right.
They came back 2 years after, 5 years after, 10 years after. Like they've held their place in cinema. I think when you talk about those like IMDb lists of top movies of all time, I'm pretty sure you're in like in the top 20. You're in 9 of them.
Oh my
So-
God.
Something crazy,
Not to put you on the spot, but do you have a
You have.
favorite one? Sorry about that. Do you have a favorite one of Gwyneth's roles?
I notice in 2 of your films you get your head,
Chopped off.
in Contagion and in
Yeah,
7.
it's true. What's up with that?
You have a.
I never thought about that.
He
till
likes
right
me
now.
decapitated.
I like it. I like it decapitated. I like a torso. No, but you know what? Actually, there is this moment that I was talking about in Marty Supreme is probably one of my favorite frames in a movie I've seen in the last 10 years. Because the second that, or you do this thing where you're like facing back and you're waiting, you say that line, and they cheer and you go just very small, like. There's this little lift that you do that just absolutely broke my heart.
Gwyneth, how are you inspired by this generation of actors?
I'm super inspired because, like there's a commitment, there's a love for cinema and a commitment that's so clear. Like when I watch Jacob on screen, I mean, I was telling him before, like in Frankenstein, there's what he does in the film is really complicated. It's really hard to do, to sort of, play an infant in a grown body and to discover the world around you and your own body and the beautiful physicality that he has, and like you can just feel that commitment to the art of it, and Timmy's the same way, and I think I really appreciate this sort of reverence for cinema, and I think we need that right now, especially in the face of AI and all this technology that theoretically threatens, the very core of what it is. Like, it's so beautiful to see these young men, with this level of talent and commitment.
And now I'm going to put you on the spot.
Oh boy.
What is your favorite Jacob Elordi role?
There's not many to go through.
That's not true. That is so not true.
Well, oh my gosh. I mean, I have to say, I think, like, I'm blown away by him in Frankenstein and the technique. But I was just stunned by him in Euphoria because I'd never seen him before. And it is such a complicated, dark role, and how the struggle that he has internally between his sexuality and all the expectations of who he's supposed to be, and the rage. You do rage very well, you really do. It's like very multi-layered. And also that was the moment where you see someone, you're like, who the fuck is this? Like the landscape's about to change from this person.
Yes. All right. Thank you both so much.
Thank you very
Pleasure.
much. Cheers.
I hear that you really wanted to do this with Jeremy.
Yes,
And I am
I
wondering
did.
Why?
Because we have a mutual bestie, and we've just sort of started hanging out, and on top of that, we both have music movies, and we've kind of, I was like, this is a perfect, we'll feel comfortable and chat about
music and movies.
Yeah.
Who's the mutual bestie?
Our friend Jamie.
She's in here somewhere.
Jamie Mizrahi. She's running
Shout out
around.
to Jamie.
Yeah.
Jeremy, where do you keep the pick that Bruce gave you?
The guitar?
Yeah.
I have the guitar. Right now, it's usually in an office, like kind of like a bonus room office. But when it rains, it gets a little leaky in there. So
no, you can't have
it's
humidity.
on my bed right now at this moment.
Do you play it?
I still play it sometimes.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
yeah. But it always turns into, Mansion. Like
Okay.
whenever I play, like I don't know how to play well enough. I got together with this guitar teacher, but I had 6 months to learn how to play guitar, and I was like, I'm so excited to learn how to play guitar, JD. And he was like, you don't have time to learn guitar. We just have time to learn these songs. And so whenever I pick it up now, I just
You just know the
I just
songs?
slowly start playing. Yeah,
I mean-
Mansion or Nebraska.
That's really
cool.
Yeah, no, it's
Oh,
beautiful. It's amazing.
just the
Yeah.
best.
Kate, I have to ask, is there any memorabilia that you've taken from any of your projects?
Oh, that's a good question.
Everybody asks me this, and no, and you know what? Like I was saying that I saw Cameron Crowe last night. This girl got up and she's like, "My husband was your prop guy. Do you want your camera back from Almost Famous, like my Polaroid camera?" And I was like, "Yes,
Yeah.
I do. I want it." And so I have a feeling I'm about to get a lot of Penny Lane stuff coming my way.
You didn't
Which
keep
I'm s-
anything from that movie?
No, because I was just a 19-year-old. You know, they weren't
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
give me anything.
That's wild.
I don't have any of. I don't keep my clothes. I don't really have much. No.
Well,
Boring.
you'll be getting it via
I hope so.
Penny Lane.
We don't even know where the yellow dress is. We're trying to find a yellow dress. We might have to have Carolina Herrera make one.
When I was in high school, I wore a dress modeled after you in that movie.
You
to-
did?
I think it was Homecoming, so thank you for that. Final question. We spoke a lot about rom-coms. When do we see the Kate Hudson, Jeremy Allen?
Oh, is this it?
This is what this.
Let's
I
go.
think
This
this
is
is
the
all.
whole-
This was all a big,
Yeah.
a big manipulation to get you into. A
I would be
rom-com.
so honored, truly. Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. You heard it here first. I don't know which camera I'm on. How did Hugh's career and his work inspire you as you were coming up?
Well, funny known fact is I just hosted the Tonys. So when I was hosting the Tonys, I went back to your Tonys to watch your Tonys.
Did you?
Yes, because I just wanted to see like how you can keep the room alive and how you, because you're so light during that. And I was like, if I want to keep watching those who know better than I do how to do it. And I think I've been watching you for such a long time. This is the bit where I get to be a fan, because I am a fan of X-Men, and I am a fan of Oklahoma. I am a fan of those things. So you've been sort of like a touchstone throughout my life. So it's nice to be here talking to
That's
you
awesome.
about it. So I've been inspired consistently because I feel like you have a career that I would love to keep doing, where it's full of like physical work, but it's also full of music and then full of like deep characters as well. There's like a wonderful collection of different beings in his life that I would like to keep.
And then we
doing
just have to
too.
work together.
I would love to.
Same.
I would love to.
Good.
You said it here first. We
Yeah,
will
it's
start
on tape. I got it.
Okay.
Cynthia and Hugh are going to
In a
work together.
heartbeat. True.
Hugh, you so clearly are a huge fan of Wicked, as is everyone.
I am.
Your work is incredible in
Thank
it.
you.
What is your favorite song from Wicked?
Defying Gravity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a stab
And I love
at
For
it?
Good.
Yeah, isn't it?
It's
really-
so awesome.
It's very special.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
I was blown away by Jonathan Bailey.
Yes.
Because I met him and I was like, oh, I didn't know. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
he just
whoa.
has that all of that contained in him. It's really special.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
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 They're my favorites.
I was going to ask if you want to take a stab, but I don't know if you want to do that next to
You can
to
always do
Cynthia.
that. He can sing.
100% no.
I can sing anything.
Of course he can.
Sing anything. Why not?
No.
You spoke about your work as an actor. You empower audiences. I want to know from both of you, what is the best part about being an actor?
That.
That.
It's that. It's when people come to you with their point of view after they've seen you in something, what it means to them, what it's done for them, or how they relate to it, how they connect to it. That for me that's it.
When I was doing The Boy from Oz, I got to ad lib for 10 minutes a night. So with the audience, right?
Yeah.
What astounded me more than anything is I would interact with strangers, 1,500 strangers. They come in, for whatever reason, they're there. 2.5 hours later,
Yeah.
in their Faces was a we're connected forever.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
feel that with them. In 2.5 hours, there's no barrier.
Yeah.
Now, I know nothing about them. They actually know nothing about me, except we've had that shared experience where I've given everything and they've just gone, all right, I'm here.
Give it, yeah.
That
It's
is
very special.
magic. That's sort of religious. It feels like that.
To be able to allow to allow people to really take you in.
Yeah.
You're just you give as much as you can give, and they eventually just kind of go, well, okay, I'm open. I'll take all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very special. Very special for them to put their time in your hands.
Yeah. And what would each of you be doing if you were not an actor?
I'd probably be teaching.
Okay.
I teach now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh,
that's,
do you?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Fantastic.
I go back
I've
to
just
my
started
drama
teaching
school,
and I love it.
and I love it. I've been going back for years.
That's awesome. Which
Yeah.
is your drama school?
RADA.
RADA.
Yeah. I've been going back for years and teaching, I guess you can call it performance through song, but really it's about connecting the dots for what they've already learned in music.
I've just started doing that too.
Isn't it wonderful? It's the
I
best.
I didn't want any class to finish.
It's the
I didn't want any
best.
date like you'll go for 10 hours a day like
It's the best.
I think that.
You're just watching people sort of hone their craft and their skill. They're so hungry. It's really special. It's magic. Yeah.
So you guys talked about Friday Night Lights. Can you tell us a little bit about how old were you when you first met each other?
I believe I was season 4 or 5.
Season 4 or 5 I came on, so I, mean,
I would have been 21, 22.
I was, when were you born?
88.
Yeah, then I was like 22, 23. Yeah, I'm 87.
Do you remember the fans trying to save the show and loving the show and what it was like trying to keep this show going during that time?
I mean, what I remember is it just always seemed like we were on the brink of being canceled. Which is kind of a great way to live. Where it's like
every day could be your
every day
last.
could be your last. So I feel like we enjoyed it so much more because of that.
We stayed
you know?
hungry and motivated. We didn't take anything for granted.
No,
Yeah.
no.
And how did you first meet? Do you remember meeting for the first time?
Like in my mind, it was in Texas, and I want to say around the Table Read cast dinner. That is probably the first time we've met.
And you mentioned 24-hour fitness.
Yeah, he's an athlete. We were down there. So we were playing football, basketball. We're in the heat of Austin, Texas. We were finding ways to kind of like bond and hang out and do stuff like that. So if we had to go to a gym and play some pickup ball, we would go do that.
Do you remember one specific game at 24-Hour Fitness, Mike, that got
Heated?
somewhat heated?
Yeah.
You do?
I think so. We were in the one. Wait. We were in the gym where we. Man, I think I know the one you're talking about. The gym that we're. It's right by Austin UT campus.
Yeah. I don't remember what it was about, but it ended in a crescendo. Yeah.
We're pretty competitive.
Who normally wins?
We weren't playing against each other.
No, we were on the
like that,
same team.
Yeah. We had some wins.
Yeah. I mean,
Come on,
Mike is.
we compliment each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bird and magic.
Are you guys gonna work together? When can we see?
I hope so, man.
Big time, man. Moments like this when you haven't seen somebody in such a long time and you got a chance to watch them from afar, become wildly successful. And the dream is always to be able to like link up with talented people, especially people that you like, and they're good people also. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Jesse, what do you want to do with Michael?
I don't know, something totally different from our dynamic
Yeah.
in Friday Night Lights.
I think
Whatever
so.
it is, something the opposite of that, I was thinking, remember that flag football sequence?
Woo!
And then it's like they kind of had to continually tell us to stop playing so we could shoot. And like, I'm not all that athletic, but I have a decent
He has
arm.
a cannon.
But Landry was supposed to be pretty unathletic.
Yeah.
And I think just because we were having so much fun, they kind of just let it slide that in the episode, I throw you this bomb, and then you dive and catch it, and then it makes it into the show, even though it makes no sense.
It was such an epic shot. He's like, all right, we're going to let it live. Let it live.
Like Landry, yeah. Fun times.
You said towards the end of the conversation
Yeah.
that this lady right here is one of the coolest people you've ever
I
met in
mean,
your life.
yeah.
Was today the first day that you both met?
This is the first day that we met. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just to hear everything that you've got going on and that you're approaching it with such like mindfulness and passion and joy. That's really inspiring. It's also shaming. I'm like, man, I don't do shit.
That's not
like,
true.
I do these movies, and then I'm like, I gotta do more.
Yeah,
I
but no,
you know, it's like life is short. Like
He's
you
being
gotta-
way too modest because we have to also remember he's a whole legend. So like, if you're at a place right now where you want to do a movie and sit down and relax, you can absolutely do that. Like you paid your
I do love
dues,
that.
you've earned your stripes. Like let's
No,
be
but
clear.
It's very
Let's be clear.
inspiring. That's really inspiring.
What was your reaction when you found out that you would be sitting down with Oscar for Actors on Actors?
Literally what I said, I was like, Victor, Victor, oh my God, I'm shooting with Victor. Like it was, so, and it's so crazy. It's just, I do believe in like timing and everything. I was literally just watching the movie, and then I was like, oh well, who am I with?
Mm-hmm.
And they said your name, and I fucking lost it. I was like, Victor, because I had so many questions.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I
I
love
wanted
that
to
you were
curse
talking
you
to me
out.
as
I
if
would- exactly. I was so, I'm
What
like,
were
oh
you
my God,
thinking
what were you
when you
thinking
did-
when you did this? But I love that. It means you care, and that means you did. It's like the way you became Victor. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I love when I want to know more about the movie as if like it's a real thing. Like, so I was like, and did you feel bad when you were doing that?
You gave me
I just wanna show
you gave
him
me a
the sun.
moment to like make up for it. I'm like, I
Yes,
didn't feel bad. I felt bad. I felt
Exactly,
bad.
I felt bad.
bad.
And it's so
in
crazy 'cause-
retrospect.
Exactly.
In the moment, he's blind.
Yeah,
So,
but
you know.
in that moment, I also understood like selfish supporters and fans, because I'm sitting here asking you, how dare you show him the sun to bring him into darkness? Like, no, that's how the movie was supposed to go. You know what I'm saying? I'll be the main
You're
one
right.
complaining about that. Y'all be mad at Perfidia. It's like Perfidia
Yeah.
had to fall for Will of the Raj. She had to believe in the movie and did.
Yeah. And something we didn't talk about, which is like similar, I thought, was like, you know, what I did in Dune, which is like
Yes.
this idea of like a parent figure, a parental figure that like leaves this vacuum for this whole thing to happen.
Exactly.
You know, which I saw
Exactly.
a lot with Perfidia as well.
Yeah.
You know, and how everything is in relation to that person.
Yeah.
You're so well coordinated.
I
Yeah,
know.
we are.
This
It's
is
like,
perfect.
yeah, we did really well.
Yeah.
It is beautiful.
Thank you.
I love it.
I love it too.
Was today the first time that you two met?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was. I love it.
It was fun.
It was so much fun.
What was it like the moment that you walked in and got to meet each other? Because from watching the conversation, it's clear you both have so much respect for each other. As
Well,
artists.
I'll start. It was easy for me because one of my closest and oldest friends worked with you and spoke so highly of you, and he was really impressed with the way. And this is couple years ago, and it was Reality, Josh Hamilton, and he's somebody I just trust completely. And I called him before I came here. I said, "Hey, so I'm going to do this thing. What should I say, not say?" And he's like, "No, you're going to have a great time. She's awesome. You're going to love her." And he's a tough sell. He really liked working with you, and he like believes in you.
I love working with him.
Yeah.
He was
So
amazing.
when you have a mutual friend, it does help.
And then when you are a huge fan and you look up to someone, then you're just incredibly honored to be here. So.
What are some of your favorite Ethan Hawke projects that you watched growing up? Not to put you on the spot.
I mean, the Poet Society is definitely like iconic top tier, but I think Blue Moon might be my favorite.
Oh,
thing
thank
I've
you.
ever
You said
seen
such
you in.
nice, kind things about it, and I really appreciate
No,
that.
like I was so blown away. Like I want to go back and watch it over and over again because every choice you made was so interesting and different, and it was complex. It was incredible.
Oh, thanks.
Ethan, I loved how you started the conversation by talking about seeing Christy with your daughter
Mhm.
and the profound impact that
Mhm.
it had on her. Sydney, for you, what does it mean that girls and women around the world are being touched by this role like that?
It's honestly everything that Christy and I hoped and wanted. Christy said that she hopes in 5, 10, 15 years dads are showing their daughters this movie and it can save lives.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you.
Yeah.
That's and it will.
Mhm.
It will. People are going to see themselves.
Yeah.
They're going to see their situation, and they're going to realize that they're not alone.
Mhm.
You know, and that's the thing. When I watched the movie, anyway, I don't know the woman Christy, but she clearly felt so alone.
She did.
You know, and she didn't, you know, so, and the movie's really well made, and it's really going to last.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I loved what you said, how 13 years from now,
Yeah, exactly.
people will come up to you, talk about
They
how
will.
your work impacted you. Ethan, you started very young. Now, you spoke about your daughter Maya, that she's in the business, Sydney's in the business. What have you learned about this younger generation, and specifically the female younger generation in the limelight?
Well, I have a tremendous amount of hope. It's very easy in the moment, but I think most of us as human beings, our brain gravitates to what's wrong and what we don't like. The business, this is not going well, this is not going well. And it's healthy, it's part of our species instinct to save ourselves and to protect. Your brain just naturally focuses on what needs to be fixed. Right. You know, you don't, the faucet doesn't work, you can't think about anything else until the damn faucet's fixed, right? Well, that's what gets the faucet fixed. And but there's a lot of good that's happening all the time too that our brains don't really see. And the great thing about living a little while is time is a great curator as far as like what is valuable about 2025. We'll know a lot more about that in 10 years, about what positive is happening. And I think that in regards to young women, look, there's no doubt, as much as people want to talk about how bad things are, there's no doubt about how much better it is. Maya and you are entering not into a fair landscape, but the landscape, like, oh, I saw Gwyneth Paltrow out one of these things this morning. The landscape that Gwyneth and my generation were entering in, everything that's negative about the culture, the workplace for women right now was a lot worse. It definitely, like, I lived long enough to say I'm happy for Maya that she's going into this environment now rather than when I was a kid. It was still worth it. I don't mean, we had a ton of fun too. Like, you know, that's the only thing, I think we might have had more fun.
I think you guys did.
Yeah, because something about social media stuff has changed.
There were no phones. There was no social
Yeah,
media.
and,
have fun.
well, so you could be stupid and make a lot of mistakes, and nobody would pay attention to it. But I do feel I'm seeing so many more women directors. I'm seeing so many more women producers. I'm seeing so many more women writers, and who are creating their own material, and that's exciting. And and because of Maya, I have a lot of young people, and Levon, my son, I have a lot of young people in my life, and it's very hard to spend time with them and not be optimistic. So whatever else is going on, there's a lot positive that's happening.
I think this may be the first edition of Irish on Irish.
Right, lovely.
Great.
As it's piss and rain outside and the skies are grey.
Yeah.
Within reach.
You
And our
brought
green
it.
chairs.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the green
Very
chairs.
Celtic.
You brought the rain. You two started this interview with a huge hug. I assumed that you were great friends, and then I learned that you really haven't met much.
We only met for 10 minutes like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, in London. The first time. And already, all over
now
each
you're
other.
besties.
No, I love the bones where it's very easy. And the first time I saw you was Wild Rose.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I know, fucking hell. Like, Jesus Christ. Glasgow. And then I took a deep dive into seeing all your singing and stuff. Like, you're mad. But anyway, yeah, I feel she's very familiar to me.
Yes.
And it's not just, obviously we're from the same island. There's that. But sure, not everyone from the island are we familiar with each other. Do you know what I mean? We're all humans at the end of the day, but our spirit is just divine. And it's just a joy to be close to her. And today was, lovely.
It was clear that you two, you're really moved by each other's work, watching your conversation. And it's rare to get the space to have this kind of conversation with another actor. What did that mean to you both, just to be able to sit with each other and have the space to do that?
Just to be continued.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, it was just a lovely start of a conversation that we'll pick up on another point. Can we? Yeah, there's
yeah.
a few,
What do
because
you
I
do for
want to
lunch?
bounce. Yeah, no, because
But also what's nice is like sometimes you're like to create something you're often on your own in your head before you get to like I never talk to anybody about this stuff.
No, me neither.
And I like
I don't
that
have
you
many
said
actor
that-
friends, like, you
Yeah.
know, after 25 years, really, Billy No Mates.
I'll be your friend.
Do you know, thanks. and don't talk, like, when you go to work, you have the chats, but outside of it, you don't. And it's really
And I love that
interesting
you
because I have
don't.
no clue what I'm doing.
No, me
25
neither.
years
I don't
in,
have a
like, I
clue.
really don't. I'm not just saying that to be like, yeah, every time I go to work, it's always new. It really, like, I know, I understand a little bit about the mechanics of a set and the energies of a set and what it is to do this and that and the other. But fundamentally, at the centre of it all, attempting to inhabit another human being who has a different perspective, comes from a different time or place, is having experiences that are counter no such thing, really. Because they're all... But I don't know what I'm doing. And so to hear her talk about not knowing what she's doing and to see how extraordinary the result of that not knowing is, it's just lovely.
Yeah.
Again, it's like a mini version of what we were talking about there, about feeling less alone and watching films and being able to glean from films a certain commonality with regards to the human experience. It's just, that was just a self-centered commonality there between me and her that was so lovely.
Well, final question. Now that Actors on Actors has created this beautiful friendship, and you said it's just the start, will you two work together?
Oh, it'd be lovely. Fucking hell, it'd be gorgeous.
What do we do?
It'd be gorgeous.
We're starting it here.
It'd be gorgeous.
Yeah.
Fully,
That's something to dream on. I'd like.
Full prosthetics, both of us.
We're manifesting.
Yeah, no, God, but I'd love to. Anyway, I'm just delighted to. As I said, I watched Hamlet last night and was destroyed. It was torn apart and then stitched back together by the end of it in a really kind of profound way. Really, it's such beautiful stuff. It's remarkable across the board. And there's such a... What I felt while watching it was, it must have felt very loving. You talked about the vibration on the set. No, it must have felt very loving to do it because there's love everywhere around it.
There's so much love.
Everywhere around it.
Yeah.
All right, thank you both so
Thanks
much.
a million.
Thank you.
So nice to meet
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Good
you for the
luck.
well wishes.
Yeah, man.
Thank you so much.